The movie begins with the Red Skull telling Taskmaster about the heroics of Captain America. He tells him about the time when Captain America had managed to take down a whole army by himself. He reveals that Captain America was an ordinary human being until one day he was subjected to a science experiment. This experiment had left him with super strength, the kind of strength that Red Skull desired. The Taskmaster assures Red Skull that he is good at memorizing everyone's fighting style, and he also learned Captain America's way of fighting. Red Skull does not believe him and makes him fight against an army of Hydra brutes. Taskmaster manages to take all of them down, using Captain America's style of fighting. Then, Red Skull shows him a video of Iron Man and asks him if he can replicate his fighting style. Taskmaster once again says that he can, but he needs his laser to copy his style. Red Skull gives him another army of Hydra brutes and tells him to steal a weapon from Iron Man's plane. The scene changes to Captain America and Iron Man fighting with each other. Captain America uses his shield to launch an attack on Iron Man, but he misses. Iron Man tells him that his attacks are very predictable. Then he uses his laser to attack Captain America and manages to take him down. He tells Cap that he wasn't ready yet. Captain America replies that during a battle, he won't have time to be ready. Then Iron Man proposes that they should make a bet. If Captain America loses, he will have to wear Iron Man's suit. Captain America quickly agrees and tells him that if he loses, he will have to join a boot camp with him. The two of them continue fighting until both of them go down. They eventually agree to call it a tie and end up in Tony Stark's control room. While the two of them talk, Tony fixes his armor. All of a sudden, the plane that the two of them are on begins shaking. Tony asks Jarvis who's behind the attack. Jarvis informs him that intruders managed to breach his security and are making their way to the weapons vault. Before he can ask Jarvis anything else, the intruders start blowing up the plane, causing Jarvis to completely shut down. Tony and Steve put their masks back on and run towards the vault to take down the enemy before they can get their hands on dangerous weapons. They hide behind a wall and Captain America tells Iron Man to stay put since he has a plan. However, before he can tell him his plan, Iron Man jumps out and attacks the intruders. There are several men in armor who begin attacking the two heroes. With no other choice left, Captain America comes out of hiding as well and helps take down the intruders. While the two of them are busy fighting, two men hack into the Stark vault and make their way inside so that they can steal a weapon. As soon as Iron Man spots them, he tries to go after them but gets interrupted by a man who uses his guns to attack him. Captain America intervenes and helps destroy the guns. Meanwhile, the two men inside the vault spot the Stark repulsor cannon that is powered by its own arc reactor. Although the cannon is a prototype still, it is just as dangerous. Just then, the two men receive a call from the Taskmaster, who asks them if they have secured the cannon. They tell him that they have, but they need his help since they were attacked by the two heroes. The Taskmaster tells them that he had equipped them with the necessary tools to aid them, and then orders the men to leave. Just as they pick up the cannon, a laser appears that cuts through the floor of the plane, causing them to fall through. On the other hand, the Taskmaster infiltrates another one of Tony's bases and claims that the Hydra brutes were only a distraction so that he could get to the real weapons. When Captain America and Iron Man take down all the Hydra brutes, they head into the vault. Just as Iron Man spots that his cannon is missing, he jumps through the hole in the floor of the plane before Captain America can come up with a plan. Not being able to fly, Captain America makes his way to the Hydra brutes that they had taken down. He picks one of them up and asks him who had sent them. The Hydra brute tells him that he will not tell him anything, just as a sensor begins beeping behind his ear. Suddenly, all of the Hydra brutes get electrocuted. When the electric current vanishes, their memories are wiped, and they are unable to recall who they are. Knowing that he will not get any answers from them, he decides to go after Iron Man just as he enters his garage. He can immediately tell that something is off. He manages to barely dodge an arrow that the Taskmaster had thrown at him. He jumps back and throws his shield at Taskmaster, who easily avoids it. He tells Captain America that he knows all of his moves before throwing his shield back at the superhero. Meanwhile, Iron Man chases after his cannon. The two Hydra brutes carrying it use Stark technology against him and take him down before flying away. Back at the plane, Captain America throws his shield at Taskmaster once again, who secretly attaches a chip to it. When Captain America catches the shield back, the chip electrocutes him and he passes out. When he wakes back up, he finds himself tied and at the mercy of Red Skull and Taskmaster. At the same time, Tony arrives back at the ship and calls out for Steve. When he does not hear back from the captain, he asks Jarvis about it. Jarvis informs him that they have lost all communication with the captain. Iron Man figures that someone must have taken him away. He then plays the security footage and finds that Captain America has been taken away by Taskmaster as well as his prototype Iron Man suit. He then asks Jarvis to try and narrow down the location of the Taskmaster. Jarvis notices a speck of soil that came from an abandoned military base. During Iron Man's search, Red Skull takes Captain America's blood and uses it to recreate his powers. Then he uses advanced technology to rewrite brainwaves that wipe his memory and make him obedient to Red Skull. Just then, a Hydra brute tells the Red Skull that he is needed elsewhere. He leaves after telling Taskmaster to keep an eye on Captain America. The scene cuts to Iron Man again, who's fast approaching the military site that Red Skull had been using as his hideout. He goes inside to rescue Cap, and then he is attacked by his friend. Feeling confused, he asks his friend what has happened to him. Captain America reveals that he now sees Red Skull as an ally and obeys all of his commands. During their fight, the captain attaches a chip on Iron Man's back that electrocutes him. While he tries to get the chip off, Taskmaster arrives and watches the two of them fight. With the chip finally off, Iron Man attaches it to Captain America's shield and electrocutes him again. The shock causes his brainwaves to go back to normal. With the Taskmaster watching, Captain America pretends to still be under Red Skull's influence and continues fighting Iron Man. He tells Tony to pretend to die so that he can get the Red Skull's location. As Tony falls down, the Taskmaster is impressed that Captain America had taken his friend down. He tells the Cap that the two of them should join hands and take down Red Skull, who is in Antarctica. As soon as Taskmaster reveals his location, the Captain attacks him along with Iron Man and takes him down. They tie him up and leave for Antarctica. As soon as they leave, the Taskmaster manages to free himself and wears the prototype suit before leaving for Antarctica as well. At the same time, Captain America pretends to still be under Red Skull's command and asks him for entry to his hideout. He also reveals to the Red Skull that Taskmaster had betrayed him and had tried to get him to turn on him. He then enters the hideout while Iron Man turns himself invisible. Captain America is escorted to the manufacturing room when the Hydra brutes discover that there's an intruder among them. Before they can alert anyone else, Captain America attacks them and takes them down. They then enter a room where they see that Red Skull had recreated the cannon and Captain America's shield. The two of them destroy the room before their weapons can be recreated to cause destruction. At this point, Red Skull arrives and confronts them. He's about to attack when Taskmaster arrives with the iron suit on. He tries to attack Red Skull with the beams installed in his suit, but when he fires, the beams don't work. Red Skull laughs at him and tells him that his powers will not work because he works for him. Then he's electrocuted and his brainwaves change. He immediately turns towards the two superheroes and begins attacking them. During this, Red Skull brings out his army of brutes that he had replicated using Captain America's powers. They begin fighting the brutes, but they prove to be too powerful. With no other choice left, Iron Man calls Hulk for help. As Hulk arrives, he begins killing off the army while Captain America chases Red Skull to fight him. Iron Man stays with Taskmaster and fights with him. He then hacks into the prototype suit that he had stolen from Stark Industries. Meanwhile, Captain America figures out that Red Skull was planning on using his technology to control everyone's minds and create one large army that will follow his orders. At the same time, Iron Man electrocutes Taskmaster and goes to help Captain America. He then uses his shield to destroy Red Skull's rocket and prevents him from leaving. As the explosion's impact is about to hit him, Iron Man saves him in the nick of time. However, just as they got into space, Iron Man's suit fails and the two of them begin falling. They are saved by Hulk, who then catches both of them and takes them to Iron Man's plane. While they get home, authorities catch up to Taskmaster and Red Skull before arresting them. Hulk advising the two superheroes to use both of their strategies to make the most of their attacks. The end. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and we'll see you in the next video.